Every time we obtain another multi-million-dollar verdict, some people say, how can you justify $5.5 million for one client? I used to say that in order to really understand, you have to sit in a jury box for 2 weeks and listen to all the evidence. But now I've got a better reply. The Washington State Association for Justice has put together a short video about one of our cases. It's called Hailey's Story. I think you'll like it.
The determination of a DUI crash victim has paid off as Governor signed a bill in her name today. Hailey's Law places drunk driving vehicles into a 12-hour hold so those people can't immediately get back in the car and drive drunk again.
On January 4th, 2007, 22-year-old Hailey French was hit head-on by a drunk driver on the Mount Baker Highway in Whatcom County. It was 4:30 a.m. Hailey was on her way to work.
But I just remember looking down and none of my legs were all disfigured and I couldn't feel anything.
She broke her knee, femur, pelvis, ribs, and left wrist. Her right foot was crushed. One of her lungs collapsed.
They put me into the back of the ambulance and at that moment, I think they set one of my bones that was, broken and sticking out.
She had 16 surgeries, spent 45 days at Harborview, which cost over $1 million, and then 3 months in a care facility, then a wheelchair for a year, and then a walker. Today, she can't play tennis, which she loved, and she struggles to tie her shoes.
And I think the hardest thing for me is I was really active before, and so that's really hard for me now, simply because I can't do those things. I think about that every day, what I would give to be able to have that body back and to be able to move. In some ways, it's kind of scary just because I can't chase after her if she runs into the road because I can't run.
Just hours before Hailey's crash, the other driver was arrested for drunk driving and then released. A state trooper drove her home. She then called a cab to take her to her car. Soon after, she hit Hailey. In 2000, the same driver was arrested for a DUI, but got it changed to a deferred prosecution. She got another DUI in 2006 and was on probation when she hit Hailey.
I also found out that she was supposed to have an ignition interlock on her car. She did not. Her car could have been impounded, so she wouldn't have been able to get back to her car, but that wasn't done. She could have been booked into jail. There was room in the jail that night, but that also wasn't done.
The case went to trial in Skagit County.
The county, the state, and the driver of the vehicle were all held responsible and accountable, and were all found guilty.
The verdict was a little over $5 million and would instantly be appealed and then settled out of court. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills were taken out. The remainder would need to last her potentially 60 more years.
I know what it has cost me to go to the different therapies that I've done to try to make things better. And there is no amount of money that will ever be able to cover, in my opinion, what I went through and what I continue to go through and will continue to go through for the rest of my life. And so I think, when you see that someone's been awarded some, maybe in your opinion, outrageous amount of money, we just don't really know. We don't know the full extent of what they've gone through. I don't even think it's fair that someone else could decide whether or not my life is worthy of their responsibility or their money. I mean, it's crazy. I just think that if you do wrong or you make a choice that's wrong, you need to be held accountable and you are responsible for that action.
An action that could permanently damage or even end an innocent person's life.
I'm Dean Brett from Brett Murphy, Washington's Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt and you're stuck dealing with an insurance company, give us a call. We have a free, no-obligation consultation. We'll try to answer 2 questions. Do I have a valid claim? And what is that claim likely worth? Even if you do have a valid claim, there's no obligation to hire us to represent you. It's free. It's no obligation. We find that it works out for us. We find that the more people we help, the more people want us to help them. So give us a call.